In the middle of a quiet neighborhood in Queens, New York, there is a dignified, hidden musical icon. And today that icon is both controversial and loved among New Yorkers and the world's music lovers. And if you clicked on this right now and you're thinking, is this just about a stage? Don't go away. This is a great story and it has lots to do with things that are happening all around the world. It's a story where people with money and power can litigate and dictate what happens to the greater good, where the needs of the few can outweigh the needs of the many. And I want you to walk away with something too, something that you've learned. And in true dad tube form, perhaps something you can even annoy your family and friends with. Rewind way back to 1923, where Forest Hills Gardens is a brand new, peacefully planned garden community in Queens, New York. It's modified after an English style. And it was built for the kind of people in those days that wanted the quiet suburb and the prestige of Manhattan nearby. So it's safe to assume that it was probably favored by people with money. And right in the middle of that neighborhood, the West Side Tennis Club founded and built a stadium, a concrete horseshoe designed for one purpose and one purpose only in 1923. Tennis, obviously. And for over 50 years, that concrete horseshoe was America's cathedral to tennis. It even hosted the US Open, the real US Open, until 1978. So while we're focusing on music, we need to understand it's also a big part of sporting history as well. And when tennis left the stadium, it just sat there quiet, crumbling, empty for decades. But here's a twist that many people forget or don't know, that the stage secretly lived its life as a music stadium. It did this with some of the biggest bands in history. The Beatles played there in 1964, so did Dylan, Frank Sinatra, the Rolling Stones. In fact, fans rushed the stage for Bob Dylan because he played electric there. Simon and Garfunkel too. Quite the lineup. International. In a strange connection, a person we're going to talk about later in Music Promoters' parents actually went on their second date to that very Simon and Garfunkel show. And by 2011, the stadium wasn't just quiet, it was a legit crumbling ruin. The city's Landmark Preservation Society denied it landmark status, and the West Side Tennis Club actually took offers and was mulling over offers to demolish the whole thing and turn it into condos. Although condos would not be a highly favorable thing for them in the neighborhood either, keep that in mind. So instead, in 2012, a music promoter by the name of Mike Luba, who just come off tour working with Mumford & Sons, went looking for a neat, wacko, different sort of venue. And then he remembered his own parents' history with the place, with that small hidden stage in the middle of New York City, an absolute diamond in the rough. So Mike Luba got to work, and in 2013, thanks to him, concerts were back slowly. Just 5 shows in 2014. Then the lineup exploded. Paul Simon, Willie Nelson, Van Morrison, Drake, Ed Sheeran, and Dolly Parton, who unfortunately passed away a day before this video was made. By 2023, the venue was running 31 shows a season. This is pretty cool from an architectural standpoint too. A 100-year-old tennis stadium all of a sudden became one of the most sought-after mid-sized venues in all of North America. It holds 13,000 people, so it's small enough to feel intimate, yet it's big enough to bring in headliners. Another reason why this is important, if you look at live music, it's heavily monopolized. And a lot of my favorite bands, like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, they stream from Forest Hill. And I can watch the band for free. But if they went to Madison Square Gardens or many of the major arenas, they have broadcasting rights. And they have things in their contract where they cannot stream to fans for free. They're not allowed to. They have to use the corporate app and the pay-per-view built in. So this isn't just about a stadium. It's also about that creative freedom to hold a show and share it with your fans worldwide. All right, so everything's going good. Forest Hills is doing great. But there's one thing we didn't mention. There's one catch, and now we're going to get to the controversy, is that the stadium is unlike any other venue in North America. The streets around it are not owned by the city. They're not public. They are privately owned by the homeowners association called the Forest Hills Garden Corporation. And this is related to the original planning of the suburb. This is a very American thing. We don't typically have this in a lot of countries where neighborhoods sort of self-govern themselves. Now, starting in 2022, some of those neighbors had had enough, and in true American form, they started litigating. One resident named Maggie Lee on the record told a reporter that she had to move out of her home for 3 years just so her son could study without the bass shaking the window. I know I'm a little biased here. 31 shows a year doesn't seem like too much to me, especially when you're going to hear the world's biggest bands. It might be a treat, but I get it. That's not everybody's cup of tea. And if you're from the area, please leave a comment because I really want to hear from you. They racked up plenty of noise violations, and in a pivotal moment in 2025, the NYPD announced it would stop issuing the sound permits the stadium needs to operate because the homeowner group refused to let the police close the private roads for crowd control. And since they couldn't close the private roads, it would not be safe to allow a venue of 13,000 to run. So think about this. A homeowners association in the middle of it's New York City, a major American city, can dictate how the police function. For a moment, the entire concert season of 2025 is in limbo. Thousands of tickets, millions in revenue, hang by a legal thread. The venue's owners fought back hard. The city officials probably went, hey, it's not 1926 anymore, guys. And the season went on. But it was a preview of just how fragile this arrangement really is. Why not just demo it and move it down? Why go through all this process and problems? Well, we talked about the cultural part, but a lot of people in the area actually love Forest Hill Stadium. It is unique. They can go and see a concert down the road, and economically, it's estimated to bring about $50 million of revenue to the area in terms of restaurants, bars, ride shares, hotels. Money that would just go elsewhere. And if you live in a city, you just have to accept the fact that you have to put up with things that happen in a city. And there is something here with the stadium that is hard to quantify, that you can stand in the exact same spot that the Beatles stood in, watching a band that wasn't even born yet when it was about to be torn down. In a city where the music scene changes every 10 years, Forest Hill has quietly outlasted everything. It's a literal museum. So where does this actually leave things in 2026 going forward? In March, a new slate of homeowners association leaders were elected, and they ran specifically on the platform to end the lawsuits. They settled the federal case against the city for a modest $150,000. But it's not over yet. Another court has since revived part of the homeowners' noise lawsuit against the stadium itself. And thankfully, it has dismissed the more existential zoning concerns that could have ended its life entirely. As it stands right now, concerts cannot go past 10 o'clock at night. And if you know the concert that broke curfew, it's a little known thing, post that in the comment. Obviously, Forest Hill isn't going anywhere in the 2026 season. I actually just watched a few concerts from Forest Hill live this summer. However, every season going forward, they have to relitigate their right to make noise. And that's a threat. Hopefully it'll be hanging and banging and just cranking out tunes and building its culture and keeping music alive for the little people. If you're still watching, thanks. Have a great day.